This is Gary Mitchell, and no, this isn't my backyard in Sydney, Ohio. This is downtown at Vine Street and 4th Street in Cincinnati. This podcast is brought to you by Ignition from Inductive Automation. And let's talk about software, interestingly enough. I have an idea. Everybody that I'm talking to in the Internet of Things space and other things actually are jumping on the predictive maintenance bandwagon. How about we talk about predictive manufacturing? Predictive maintenance is interesting. It has been written about for years. A few people use it. In fact, I just saw something about the Gartner hype curve. And at the end of the Gartner hype curve, they say about 25% of companies actually wind up using the new technology for fun and profit. And the rest of the people still ignore it. Which must be why, perhaps, even today, the number one manufacturing software for the execution layer is Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. Go figure. Anyway, kind of wondering about predictive manufacturing, because we talk about predictive analytics, and it's one of the functions in the whole Internet of Things ecosystem. And I've been researching it a lot. I drew up a chart 3 years ago, maybe, trying to look at the connected enterprise and Internet of Things. And it all boils down to all the different components that every analyst firm I see basically writes the same diagram. And it basically includes a sensor level, some kind of networking, databases, the cloud, analytics, and visualization. Okay, so that's what it all is. So who cares? And so then the who cares part is they're looking at predictive maintenance. And I'm thinking, let's take it another step. Maybe it's predictive manufacturing, but maybe that's what Industry 4.0 means. Anyway, that's bringing in PLM and design, and it's a whole digital thing, which Siemens, interestingly enough, now is calling digitization. So more power to Siemens for what they're working on. So I was looking at the execution layer of software for various reasons, and one was a couple of interviews I've had and I've got coming up, and some new products released at the Wonderware conference last week, and some stuff that Rockwell just released this week that I wrote about on my blog, which you can catch there. That's themanufacturingconnection.com. And just look on there and you'll see about Rockwell's new package software. So execution layer software basically reads what's known as layers 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, which is basically sensors and instrumentation and controls. And it sucks information out of that, and it does things to it depending on the particular type of MES application, whether it be quality or production scheduling or work in process scheduling or inventory scheduling or whatever it might be. And then it talks back to the controller and says, here, go make this. And in the meantime, it's talking to the enterprise systems and it's saying customers want this, let's make this, and it goes down and it orders the control layer and say, okay, let's start making some of these. Sounds simple, and in a sense that's what it does. In the meantime, it captures a whole ton of data, which oftentimes nobody uses, which is a shame. With the new databases coming on board and new analytics and new ways to search, store, and all that sort of stuff with databases, I think we might be able to finally start using a lot of that information to make manufacturing better. The execution layer is an important layer, but unfortunately the MES suppliers still seem to struggle with their messaging into what they actually do because it's very complex. And if you buy an MES solution from one of the vendors, you've got a problem. Most likely it's fairly complex. It's got a lot of modules. Often you're spending quite a lot of money on it, many thousands of dollars, plus many dollars in engineering time for engineers to actually implement this software. On the other hand, what most people have done is engineers always go to Excel for darn near everything. So they just build an Excel sheet and a table, and they can accumulate real-time data into it, and they can use it for the information they need for their execution layer. So that's the kind of the status of that whole thing. Either we use Excel, which can be complicated. People, financial analysts for years have gotten lost in their Excel formulas and so on. And so it's not the best solution. And it's not the best solution to put in huge complex things that make you change your workflow, make you change your organization, make you change the way you do things, add data entry stuff where it's prone to errors and mistakes and all that sort of stuff. So neither solution actually is ideal. Both will work. So the only one I know of that's really making a go at this whole thing is actually GE. And GE has GE Digital. And what they're doing with GE Digital is combining all their software that they have, and some of it's fairly old and some of it's fairly new, and they're putting it all together. But where they're putting it together is with services. So when they say we don't sell a jet engine, we sell propulsion, and that sort of thing. That's actually what they're doing. They're combining software and services, and they make money with services more than they make money with software. It's just an enabler, if you will. So aside from that, what I've seen other people do, which would include Rockwell, I just wrote about, Wonderware is doing it. Inductive Automation does a bit of that, and they're trying to package nice little easily digestible chunks of software for the execution layer. And that's what we're working on right now. And that looks like it's got a real chance of success. It's easier to install. It's less expensive for the most part, which is good for the user. And these are all built to be scalable. So they can scale up a piece at a time is a good thing. What we always did ever since 1977 when I first got involved in this is you start small, do this niche and do that niche, add this department, add that department, then add this factory and then add that factory and so on. And so these little scalable applications are ideal for that sort of scalable approach to implementing an execution layer system. So all that said and done, where are we with manufacturing software? What are these applications going to do? Have any of you investigated any of these yet? The Rockwell ones are new. Wonderware's had some. There are others that have been out there. So what are we doing with manufacturing software? Can we get to predictive manufacturing where we start solving problems plant-wide instead of just maintenance? So it's my thought for the day on software. This is Gary Minchell and other thoughts on manufacturing. And this podcast is brought to you by Ignition from Inductive Automation. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.